Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
All righty, Lionel with you, and I'm telling you, I know you're not supposed to do this. I know it's one of those things that people say, no, you shouldn't be talking about this. Wow, because you're not a religious person, or you're not a priest or a scholar. It's like, well, why do I have to be a scholar to talk about this? I don't understand. Some of these things have kind of logical overtones to it that I think are most important. In the case you just tuned in, one of the things which I found interesting, and I don't believe you have to have any particular faith system to deal with the following. If God or whoever, whatever just give it a situation where an omnipotent being that we normally would agree is called God. If God knows ahead of time what you're going to do, and he grants you concomitant or free will, and he doesn't stop you, what difference does that make? Somebody said before, if God made a Hitler and God knows what Hitler's going to do, well, doesn't that mean that Hitler still had free will, as terrible as that is? People confuse knowledge with control. You know, God's reading the cards, but he's not controlling the game. I'm a card reader. I know what's going to happen. The idea that God knows what you're going to do doesn't mean that he's forcing you to do it. Knowing is not the same as causing. Let's say you watch a recording of a football game, and you already know the final score. Your knowledge doesn't change how the players acted in the moment. They made choices. They acted. Divine foreknowledge doesn't cancel human freedom. That's what I'm trying to say legally. And free will also means that theoretically, I would guess, it means you have the ability to choose between alternatives. You can act, you can refrain, you can change your direction, you can resist, you can say no, you can stay home. And the fact that God doesn't intervene every time you make a decision, I don't think is evidence that you lack freedom. In fact, it's the opposite. It shows that the choices you made are yours. So I thought this was kind of like the background of this, because a world without free will would be a world of automation. There would be no morality. You could say, hey, don't look at me. I'm not in control of this. I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to make any decisions. There would be no responsibility, no agency, no virtue, no wrongdoing. And the concepts of justice and accountability only depend on your ability to choose. So I would think logically, God, or whatever you want to call it, God's knowledge and your freedom are not enemies. They can coexist. It's that simple. One is, perfect awareness, and the other is human. I guess the word is agency. So I think sometimes we're asking the wrong question. Now, that may not mean anything to you. It may not. I was listening, by the way, to this Hoffman just a few minutes ago. It's very interesting. Sometimes I ask myself, why are we really asking these questions? Does this really interest you, or are you asking it just to ask the question? You've got stuff to do. How many times do you really have to ask yourself, what should I do morally? What should I do? Should I rob the bank or not? Should I steal the money or not? Should I break in? How many times during the day do you ever have these moral? Very rarely. Very rarely. Most of the time people say, it never comes. I just. So sometimes I think we love, and it's great, and I love the fact that we love to force theological and philosophical questions and answers, but in reality, it's not really that important. It's not that critical.
Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.